how can we avoid this scenario in Azerbaijan, for example? The scenario is where suddenly we have a peak of victim numbers and outbreak. We heard today that there were so far, since November 2020, 302 casualties reported. 302 people lost their lives or were injured. That's already more than 100 per year. It's quite a lot. It's actually a high number. It's a very big number for a country that has 10 million, around 10 million inhabitants. So how can we prevent that? One of the key response and a recommendation for the country is to invest on universal prevention, or what we call primary prevention. And that can be done in various ways. I will come to this in a minute. Now, on a positive note, I just want to share this slide that is coming from Sri Lanka, where you see victim numbers since 2000, the early 2000s. And you see that after 3 decades of conflict in Sri Lanka, one of the very tough conflicts we have seen in that region, in 2018, Sri Lanka managed to reach 0 casualties. I should be more accurate, 0 civilian casualties were reported in 2018. So they managed to stabilize the situation, even though they have, and they still have today, landmines. They still have remnants of war. They still have minefields, but they have reached this 0 casualty goal. So we heard a lot yesterday, today about the mine-free Azerbaijan. It's also very crucial to think about casualty-free Azerbaijan, and it is something doable, something realistic, something possible. For that, we need to invest a lot on primary prevention. And all those pillars that you see here, all those pillars are absolutely crucial. Of course, advocacy for, again, the use of landmines, advocacy for the mine treaty is a form of primary prevention, and of course, risk mitigation as well. Clearance, stockpile destruction. Even victim assistance is seen as a form of prevention, what we call a secondary prevention or tertiary prevention. So this prevention continuum is important. Every single pillar has a role to play. It's not only EORE alone, risk mitigation alone, that will succeed to this achievement when we have 0 casualties. We have to work hand in hand between the various migration pillars. This is was my first takeaway: invest on universal prevention. Another takeaway here is a key concept that was a key principle that was highlighted yesterday by a representative of the Ministry of Economy. He reminded us that one of the key principles that underpin the SDGs is the principle of leaving no one behind. And here I'm highlighting this because when we look at the data on casualties, when we dig out and try to explore the profile of each casualty, we realize that landmines and PRW are always first targeting the poorest members of the community, the boy who cannot, or the girl who cannot go to school, or the disabled person, or someone who could not get the messaging from the risk education campaign. It's a kind of common denominator we observe all across the world. The first victims are always the poorest members of the community, the poorest among the poor. So we need to address this and make sure we target those children, those communities, and those members that are among the poorest. Another principle you may not see at the bottom of the slide. Another principle was that was highlighted yesterday is that all the SDGs have to be centered around human rights. Human rights are a key principle. So So here I also would like to highlight that EORE, exclusive ownership risk education, is a right. Every single IDP in this country should have the right to receive risk education, should be equipped to manage this risk. But we can go beyond and think about those living nearby the former line of contact, those who will travel in the future in those areas. We could argue that every single Azerbaijani should receive risk education, and that's also why we work with the Ministry of Education to make sure it's integrated into the curriculum. So that is the third takeaway. The second one was on leave no one behind. But maybe I should highlight in terms of the right-based approach that Azerbaijan is part of the Convention on the Right of the Child. So through this convention, Azerbaijan is a state party, there is an obligation to make sure that children can play safely, can go to school safely. And we have also an example that I think all the panelists will address is the Convention on the Right of Persons with Disabilities. Also, Azerbaijan is part of this convention. So this is about the right-based approach. Now, another takeaway that was highlighted this morning, and that was absolutely wonderful to hear this in this room, that many panelists, even many members of the government of Azerbaijan highlighted the importance of peace building. So peace building is my fourth takeaway. We should invest on peace building education, peace building messaging. And as I speak, for example, in Ethiopia, there is a new project that is being established on explosive violence education that will be combined with peace building messaging. These are young adolescents from Bosnia and Herzegovina, and they were engaged in a competition to design a 1-minute video on peace building. And they have all been awarded through this competition. This was done in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and some type of lessons that we can also have here for Azerbaijan, for Armenia, for the whole region. Peace building is absolutely critical. As one colleague told me during this week, every single accident, every single injury in a peace context is a reminder of the conflict, is a reminder of the war. So the more we invest on mine action, the more we invest on risk education to prevent those accidents, the more we contribute to a peace building context. And this is my last takeaway. It's about risk education, exclusive honors risk education. This is the way we articulate risk education, right? The way we have been articulating risk education over the last 20 years or so. So a message to our colleagues in Azerbaijan, but also to the international community, is that we need to change this approach. It's not that simple. It's not just because we provide theory that leads to knowledge change, that leads to behavior change, that automatically it will lead to less pressure. Even knowledge change is a very poor predictor of behavior change. There is no, it's a false assumption to think that just because people will get the information, they will adopt the same behavior. And it brings me to these two last slides, that human behavior is a very complex thing. Sometimes it's more difficult to deal with human than to deal with the land. For example, when we demine the land. We deal with human behaviors, and it's so complex. It's driven by psychology, by sociology, the way sociology is very much about what the family, what the community expect us to do, the way what we believe they expect us to do, to behave. So it's the dynamic related to sociology. And environment here in this case is very much about how people are exposed to risk education message through radio, through TV, but also the policies developed by governing entities, local authorities, etc. These create an environment that can be conducive to behavior change. And this is my last slide. We don't need to dive into this slide, and I don't expect that you will read every single box here. My point here is that the topic of this conference is the path to the SDGs. When it comes to risk education, this path or pathway is not simple, it's a complex one. And you see there are multiple pathways that can lead to SDG achievement. And we have often been too much focused only on knowledge improvement, but there are so many other components that are absolutely crucial in terms of influencing behavior, influencing self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is about my belief that I'm capable to do, to act, to behave safely, and to convince others to behave safely. And as you see on the top of this theory of change that we developed with 17 organizations, the EURA Advisory Group, it's still a draft. The idea is that ultimately this education can contribute to quality education, can contribute to well-being, can contribute to sustainable communities, and also peace through SDG 16. Two indicators are related to this SDG 16. One of them is about feeling safe in the area where you live, feeling safe when you walk alone in the area where you live. This is also very related to this education and mind action. And another SDG indicator is the number of conflict-related deaths. So through risk education, but also through clearance, we can contribute, and victim assistance, when we can contribute to this SDG 16. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Monsieur, for your comprehensive presentation. Our next speaker is Mr. Nigel Elway. Nigel is former journalist and civil servant, creator of All Party parliamentary group on explosive threats, and he speaks regularly on politics and diplomacy about migration, UAD, and migrant resistance, and always lobbying this importance of voice of minorities. Mr. Elway, the floor is yours.